Oh my goodness. Okay, Lindsay from Outshining Ed, I literally just recorded like three quarters of the video and looked down and I didn't hit the record button. I'm starting over. So, I want to talk about mastering your emotions in one key to that today. Obviously, there's a lot more. But had somebody told me this in recovery and made it this simple, oh man, it would have been game changing for me. I use it now, still today, even though I'm fully recovered. And I know there were elements of this when I was in recovery, but nobody could like boil it down and simplify it. It was all this clinical jargon, which makes me like, why? Okay, so here's the thing. You have feelings come up. A lot of people have the feelings or emotions, and they go, you're like me, or like I was. You have the feeling, emotion, don't even know what it is, and you go to react. You have those behaviors like instantaneous. There's no lag time whatsoever. So I had a hard time naming my feelings. And if you're like that, that's totally okay. I'm not asking you to name your feelings, but that's a reaction. So we react in a lot of ways. If we get a feeling that comes up, we might lash out, we might say something hurtful back, we might yell, we might cry, all reactions. There's a reaction, react versus respond. Say it again, react or respond. And the choice is yours. Anytime something, a situation or someone says something that maybe just doesn't sit well with you, you're like, ugh, don't know what I'm feeling, but I don't like that, right? So we have that choice. And when we want to shift from react to respond, I'll walk you through that. But it's such a nice, calm place to live versus reacting. And then you're like, oh, wait, why did I say that? Oh, why did I do that? Why didn't I try something different? So, how do we make that shift? So, when something comes up from you, and again, you don't have to name the feeling, you can just be feeling like, like, man, this sucks. Or like, I did not like what he said. Or, man, why did she do that? Ask yourself when you have that feeling, say, isn't that interesting? No judgment, right? Isn't that interesting? And take some deep breaths along with it. That's worked for me. In fact, this came up for me today when I was golfing with my dad, and he said some critical things, and the tears started streaming down the face, and I wanted to lash out. I wanted to say something back and tell him what he was doing wasn't nice, although I wasn't going to say it in a nice way. Instead, I said, man, I've got a lot of stuff like boiling inside of me. Isn't that interesting? And I breathed for 2 holes. Like in golf, because we walk 9 holes, my dad always walks, it's a long time. And I meditated on it. Isn't that interesting? Didn't try to figure out like what I was feeling, where it came from, blah, blah, blah. But once I got to that place of non judgment, I was in a place to actually respond instead of react. And so I finally got to the place where I was like, oh, hey, dad. Like, it's really helpful for my game when you don't make any comments or give me advice. Like, I just really like to figure it out for myself. That's huge. I did not want to say that initially. I want to be like, why would you say that? Do you know how hurtful you are? And of course, he's not coming from a place of, uh, intending to be mean. He's coming from a place of love. So I'm so glad I took that time to respond. So here we go. Break it down for you. In your recovery, mastering your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, so key, right? A lot of people have success in stopping the behaviors, and then the thoughts are still there, the feelings, the emotions are still there. And so what's so important is really mastering these emotions. So something comes up, maybe you go straight to behaviors. Don't judge, okay? Maybe you could reflect back and say, oh man, I see that link, I see how I did it, but let's look forward for the next time. Something happens, you notice like, oh man, I'm bored, I'm upset, I feel left out, I feel lonely, whatever the feeling is, just be like, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I'm bored. And just take some deep breaths and then respond. Don't react, respond. Isn't that interesting? I'm bored. Okay, I'm bored. Wonder what I could do about that. Approach it from a place like that. I know it sounds simple. I know you're looking at me saying, like, Lindsay, if it were that easy, I'd do it, I'd be recovered. But just try it. Try that mental question to yourself and say, like, isn't that interesting? Sit with it. Respond versus react. Don't react. Try to respond. Okay, so I encourage you to do that. Thank you for watching. Sorry for rushing. I'm the kids are out there and I'm trying to get them dinner and get to the table. So have a great weekend and wishing you all the best. Bye.